Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Do you know it only takes around 10 seconds to pass out when you're being strangled? I learned the hard way. It's not, I discovered, the worst way to go. Sound fades away and your vision becomes grainy, but I don't remember any pain. As I have been a sex worker on and off for the past 2 decades, you probably think such brutal attacks come with the territory. But the assumption that a client did this to me would be incorrect. This was Tom, my first long-term boyfriend. An aspiring doctor, Tom was volunteering at a hospice when we met, while I was 17 and at college. We were together for nearly 5 years. Now he is a GP. A man people look up to and respect, while I get spat on by society. There's no doubt that being a sex worker is risky. Any wannabe young hooker who thinks it's a cool job with no dangers is kidding herself. But no man I have ever met in my work has been as dangerous as Dr. Tom. And while it might surprise people, I have met some good men. Adam, my partner of the past 10 years, was initially a client, though we tell people we met in the pub. An Oxbridge graduate who works with numbers. Like Tom, he's educated, but he's also kind and would never hurt me. The real pretty woman story, I like to call it. But it's not lost on either of us that society would look at my ex, the respectable GP, and at Adam, and think one a catch and the other a user of women. There's an assumption that all sex workers are damaged, lost souls, and I can't deny I would never have gone into sex work if it wasn't for Tom. My early childhood, on the other hand, completely shatters the broken home-to-hooker narrative. Growing up in the Midlands, days were filled with reading, outings, and pitting my wits against my dad in endless games of chess. There wasn't a lot of money. Dad was a stonemason and never managed his business very well. My sister and I didn't care. At Sunday school, I would wonder what the point of heaven was when nothing could be better than the life I had on earth. My teens were tougher, however. At school, glasses resembling the bottom of a jam jar and heavy braces singled me out for relentless bullying. I retreated into a world of books. After GCSEs, college was the fresh start I needed. And the strangest thing happened. Boys started looking at me. I lost my virginity to a long-haired musician when I was 16, though I was so ill-informed I didn't even know that women could have orgasms. Then I met Tom, and that's when the trouble started. We fell in love in the cold room of a restaurant, where he was plating up cakes and I was putting away dishes, one of my many part-time jobs. Everyone told me how lucky I was to be with him, and I agreed. Of course, if Tom had been violent from the outset, I would have left him. But his manipulation and control grew slowly, like a cancer I couldn't see, as my confidence and self-esteem withered away. First, he told me I looked better without makeup, then he started suggesting what I should wear. Next, that I could lose some weight. Then he told me he didn't like my friends. I dropped them one by one without even noticing it. When, 2 years into our relationship, Tom began studying medicine, we found a flat together, 2 hours from home, and I became even more isolated. 3 years in, and I would wake up at night to find him having sex with me. I would lie still and wait for it to be over. The next day he would pretend it had never happened. 1 minute he could be loving and tender, the next kick the door so hard it buckled. But the day I forgot to buy Tom's cereal was the pivotal point. He was so angry, he grabbed me, pushed me onto the bed, and wrapped his hands around my throat. Then, just as suddenly as he'd turned on me, he let go. I lay on the bed, frozen. Inevitably, and thankfully, we split up soon after. We both knew there was no coming back from that moment. Initially I didn't want anything to do with men, then I veered to the other extreme, sleeping around as a form of self-harm. It was this combination of emotional pain and out-of-control promiscuity that led me to call a knocking shop and ask for a job. I was 21. Brothels are everywhere. This one was an ordinary 2-bedroom house, and the setup was that there were 2 women working each day and 1 maid who answered the door. According to the madam, the standard service was covered sex, meaning the use of condoms, and the main thing.